Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Seventh Rule with Ciroc Lofton and Hana Hatae. My name is Ryan T. Husk, and we are celebrating Aron Eisenberg. How are you, Hana?
I am doing well. It's really warm here in the Bay Area, which is surprising.
San Francisco, right?
But yeah, enjoying that.
So you came down from the Bay when I saw you at the funeral service for Aron?
Yeah, I was supposed to be working Saturday night and the service was 10 a.m. Sunday, so I was like freaking out, like how am I supposed to get down there? I have to work, like I'm just gonna go take like a super early flight and get there and to the airport and just leave. And my coworkers and my bosses were super dope, and they're like, it's cool, just we'll give you Saturday off so you can fly in the night before, you don't have to like stress about it. So yeah, I made it down just for that. It was a 2-night trip just to, come celebrate Aron and be with people that we love and people that he loved too.
Yeah, that was a touching moment. It was good to see everybody. I mean, it was almost like a reunion of the cast because there was so many people there.
Yeah, it really was. That's what it felt like.
And people I didn't expect to see, like you and Max. A lot of people that live far away.
Yeah, Max lives in Hungary, doesn't he?
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. He lives somewhere far away, like
he lives in Hungary.
That's
Is it Hungary? Okay.
Definitely did not know that. So he came a lot further than I did, but I mean.
But you still came. Yeah. You still came a long way. I mean,
yeah,
it's not like you're a local.
Exactly, and it just shows how much of an impact Aron made on not just my life, but everybody's lives that he met and that he knew. We were willing to spend however much money, it's just for a day or two, just to get that down there and celebrate his life. So, he's one of the most phenomenal, I'm like choking up right now, phenomenal, insanely like wonderful, genuine human beings that I have ever met. And I know you guys can agree with me on that.
Definitely. Yeah. I don't know any of the people that you've met, but I totally agree with that. He's one of the most amazing people I've ever met. Yeah. I do want to actually start from the beginning, though. Can you remember when and where you met Aron? I mean, was it on set and you were too young to remember, or was that a convention?
So actually, I don't know. We never had any scenes together on set, so I don't know if I actually met him while filming. I do remember watching Ciroc play basketball or like shoot hoops every once in a while because I was just really bored walking around, and you were also just like taking a break and shooting some hoops, shooting some ball. Nice. And but the first time I met him as an adult after the series ended was at the Destination Star Trek London in 2014. And just from the moment I met him, he made me feel like family, like we had known each other for years. And it was just, it's so heartwarming. Like I didn't feel uncomfortable around him at all. It was just like instantly family, best friends, just positivity from the beginning. And we hung out a lot that entire trip, and it was a lot of fun. I remember he's definitely taller than I am, but he
man, you wanted to hear you say that so bad.
I have a photo of him wearing my big ass, my very large fur coat, and it is adorable. I'll have to send that for you guys so you can post that up somewhere.
Oh, Aron in a fur coat.
It's somewhat of a fur coat. You'll see. I'll show it to you guys. It's great. And that's the first time I met Max also. And they just always got along we got along very well with them. That's where he met my mom. And every time I saw him, he would ask how my mom was doing because they just had such a great connection. Very similar, bubbly, energetic, friendly vibes.
And that was, you said that was 2014 when you first saw him at Destination Star Trek. That's in London. I can only imagine the look on his face when you said, "I'm Molly O'Brien." I bet he just like lit up, right?
Oh, for sure. He knew who I was, but of course I didn't know. I didn't really I didn't know much about the Frankie. But they had masks on, I didn't know who he was. He had a mask on every time I saw him before that.
Yeah, yeah.
Ciroc, did you and Hana ever share scenes? I don't remember.
No, I don't think so. I think she was too young at the time, and it was just she was in her own scenes with Keiko and her dad and Miles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do remember you kind of re-emerging on the scene at the Star Trek convention.
Yeah.
Because there was a period of time when you were not doing conventions and not kind of in the circuit. Is that right?
Yeah, I didn't even really. I knew that conventions were a thing, but I don't know. Somebody contacted my brother, and I think it was Lolita's partner. So contacted my brother, and because she somehow found out, or they found out his information, and that we were related because he's a photographer. And then they finally contacted me and were like, "Hey, do you want to do this convention?" And I was like, "Okay." I obviously was very nervous, didn't know what to expect, but they're so much fun. And obviously, because of
what was that like? Because I know everybody was like, "Oh, Hana," and I was like, "Wait a minute! Have you guys been waiting for me?" So how did you feel that when people were all over you, as if it was yesterday?
It was definitely intimidating at first, because since it had been so long, I don't know how many years it had been since I stopped acting and since DS9 ended, but I never really thought I would really reconnect with anyone. I just thought, oh yeah, it's a thing I did in the past. And then once I got into the convention scene, it was just like a whole new world. And I am so grateful to have been introduced into it and brought into it, because otherwise I never would have met any of you guys again. Well, I maybe would have seen you guys again, but Ryan, I probably would have never met. Ciroc, who knows if I would have seen you again, and just connecting, and obviously getting to meet Aron and other cast members that I did not get to work with on the show.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah, it's also a trip, because it's something that I was 4 years old when I started. So to have people be fans of me when I did something when I was so young that I can only remember snippets of in the beginning was super, it was weird but cool. I don't know if that's a good way to explain it, but it's just kind of mind-blowing in a way.
Yeah.
We recently watched that episode with Rumpelstiltskin in it.
Oh my God, I was
and I remember you telling us.
Okay, you remember this, right? I was legitimately terrified of him.
And I could see why now after we rewatched the episode, because you had told us the story, then we watched the episode afterwards. And as we were watching, I could see why you would be completely terrified. He looked like he was
a scary guy.
A gremlin type guy.
His makeup was amazing. And I just didn't understand that he wasn't actually going to take me. I don't know why, because I guess I knew the story back in the day, and that's just what they told me. He's supposed to take you away from your family. And as a child, I'm like, this isn't happening. This is not happening.
Yeah, that's not the right thing to prepare you for the scene, right?
Pure terror walking out of that room. Oh my God.
Oh man.
But hey, it made for a great scene, so it worked out.
Have you gotten to reunite with your dad? I mean, with Colum? Have you seen Colum?
I actually saw Colum at 2 conventions. I think the first one it may have been at Destination Star Trek London as well. But then he was there 2 years ago at Star Trek SDLV.
Okay.
2 years ago, I think. And yeah, I saw him. Oh, no, I don't even remember when it was. But the first time I did see him, when he was at a convention, he was in the green room. And I ran up to the back. And I ran up in the green room. And I just kind of snuck up. And I was like, "Hi, Daddy." And he looked up and he was like,
That's not the right way to introduce yourself to a guy,
But this time it was okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they're really your dad on the show.
It's not the way to jump up to some guy.
Not to any man, but I just wanted to make it fun and exciting and to just surprise him, and it worked.
Did he recognize you right away, or did you have to say?
No, he looked at me and he was like, "Oh my God." It's,
wow.
Gave me a big hug. He's like, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
It's great.
Beautiful.
What about Rosalind, though?
So it was funny. I saw her like right after the show stopped filming, I think in Japantown, downtown LA, Japantown area. But other than that, I only we talk on Twitter and social media every now and then, but I haven't seen her since. I'm not sure what's up with her in convention circuit. She doesn't seem to do them as far as I know.
No, I never see her.
Yeah. And I don't know why. Maybe she just doesn't want to do it. And I know they tried to get her for the documentary, but there was scheduling conflicts and miscommunications, so she wasn't able to do it. But she was supposed to be there the day that I went, and she wasn't. It didn't work out.
Now, speaking of conventions, when you first saw Mr. Aron Eisenberg at the Star Trek conventions and sitting at his table and wheeling and dealing and being everybody's best friend and being the showstopper, what did you think? Did you think, wow, I got to really up my game? Or were you just like, okay, that guy's obviously the superstar of the convention. I'm just going to sit here and sign autographs.
That's basically I'm going to go with the latter. Like, he just is on a whole nother level with being able to connect with people and really giving his 100% attention to whoever he's talking to at the time. It doesn't matter if it's just someone he met or isn't even a fan. Like, they just came along for the ride for their, family member, spouse, or whoever. It's just, he always, no matter what, everything was genuine, and he always cared about, he wants to know your name, where you're from, tell me everything about your life, basically. I just don't even know how, I'm just not that kind of person. Like, I love everybody. I want to be friends with everybody, but I'm more of an introvert. So for me, I'm like, how do I step up to that level? But I can't, because that's just not who I am. And it's just, he's just such an amazing person to be able to do that. And not only does he care, he remembers all the
knows that he cares,
all the people. He knows every single person. He won't forget the person's name once he meets them, if he meets them just once.
And you're right. When you said you're not that kind of person, most people are not that kind of person, which is what made Aron so special. One of the many things, I'm sure Ciroc's got a million stories as to what made Aron so special, as we all do. But that's definitely one of them, is when like what you said, you would look over and you could just see that this he does care and he does remember. And the fact that he remembered, as you said, that shows how much he cared about people, that it wasn't just lip service, that he really did retain everything that they told him.
Yeah, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to do this just to make you feel like I care. He really did. And that was one of the best qualities about him.
Actually, Hana, you and I and Aron shared some scenes together on Renegades.
Yeah, we have some photos of that.
That's right. Those were, what a special time that the three of us.
Right?
Yeah, there was the three of us. It was Madison Russ, who was Tim Russ's daughter, and Tim Russ was the director. And our captain was Corin Nemec, who was on Stargate and who was Parker Lewis Can't Lose. But the five of us made a pretty awesome crew. I felt very tall on that show. Thank you. So Rob's like, that's nothing.
You and Corin were on the tall side. It was just Aron and I. Madison's pretty tall, so it was just Aron and I. Mm-hmm. But it was a very balanced picture because it went tall, short, tall, short, tall.
So you did get a chance to work with him, but just not on DS9.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
It was so much fun being able to do that. That was a good one that we did for sure.
Now, Aron is always playful and like to poke fun and joke. Did he ever pull that with you and poke fun? And...
Always. Well, and then he brought me into your game.
The middle finger game.
Yes.
So he and I started doing it together.
Yes.
And I would kind of switch off with you and then kind of,
Yes, she was a key instrument in the setup sometimes of the middle finger game. You always needed to co-opt an operative to help, and she was good for that. So she was caught in the middle of our middle finger game.
Hey, so real quick.
Oh yeah, see there you go.
This thing only catches half of it, so we're cut off The tall people are cut off, but
the renegade part down.
That was our crew. Well, I don't know. This thing kind of cuts from the bottom and the top, so I would actually have to change the image.
Right. But
anyway, that's us right there. That was Aron's awesome.
So he played himself. No, that's not.
Yes,
no, he's
that's Aron playing a cool little devil alien. That's me, science officer. That's our captain. That's Tim Russ's daughter, and that is the lovely Hana Hatae. Anyway, please continue what you guys were saying, but I just wanted to say that that's how awesome Aron looked, and he nailed that role. We're actually talking about that on another interview, how amazing he was to be able to create a new alien and make sure that he wanted to be sure it wasn't anything like Nog. You know, this is nothing like Nog, and he was like, I'm not talking like Nog. I feel like I'm talking like Nog, you know, but through practice and through really putting his attention to it and his actor skills into it, he was able to he even created like these mannerisms where the alien would tilt his head when he would ask a question, or he would say like, this isn't how it's supposed to be, or, you know, he added different little mannerisms to create, you know, a new alien, because for as far as we knew, this was an alien that could go on forever, and there's a lot of responsibility when an actor is creating, you know, like
a new type.
Yeah, like what Leonard Nimoy did, what Michael Dorn did to a certain extent, you know, things like that.
Yeah, being able to tweak it just enough to make it different. And he was always able to do that. Everything he did 100%, 110%, like 1,000%. I can't even, numbers can't even describe.
Yeah, he was always on top of it. I mean, especially when it comes to acting, because, I mean, I really feel like he was really concerned about, you know, some people are really cavalier about their acting. It's maybe like a side thing or a hobby or something they just want to pursue a little bit. But I felt like with Aron, it was a real passion of his. He was really passionate about the work, and he wanted to make sure he got it right, and he was doing his best. So he often recruited other people to help, you know, analyze whether he was doing his best or not. But, you know, I felt like he really wanted to be, you know, known for his acting. He was a good actor. And when we were at the funeral service, Hana, I know you saw the same as I did, those young pictures of Aron as a young boy, right? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking to myself, wow, this kid is a handsome young child growing up.
I noticed
the
same. Yeah.
I mean, this
dude.
long flowing hair, blonde hair, these big blue eyes.
And still that big contagious smile.
And that big smile, yeah. So you can see that he had that spirit from like when he was young. That you know, he was kind of almost destined to be an actor.
Yeah.
If I see that kid picture and you show me the picture of him when he was a kid and say, what do you think this kid's going to grow up to do? I'd be like, this kid's going to be an actor. He looks like that.
Hands down.
Yeah. So I think he probably grew up hearing that his whole life, or his parents were like, yo, your son, he should be an actor. He should be an actor. You know, he's got the looks. He's got what it takes. So he took that and added the talent to match it. He not only had the looks, but he had the talent. And I think the talent is what carried him without looks, when he didn't need to have looks, when he could be an alien. It was the talent that was shining through, you know.
He still had the good looks, so
he still had it. So and those blue eyes, and those big blue eyes, which always told the story of a vulnerability, a playfulness, and it always lets you know that he wasn't really trying to tear you down. It wasn't like he was trying to break people down or make them feel bad about themselves, even when he was joking on them and ribbing them a little bit. It wasn't to the point where he was trying to, you know, make you feel bad or self-conscious. He was just trying to, you know,
make light of a situation.
Make light of situations. Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, sometimes that came across as combative, but he liked it. He enjoyed just, you know, tickling people in those kinds of ways. So
yeah. He was very good at that too.
No, he was very good at that.
Always.
What's the time, Hana, that, if you can remember it, what's the time that he made you laugh the hardest or the most?
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's a really good question.
I know. I asked the tough
So many
questions.
memories that it's hard to pick one. It honestly might have been at a Gays in Space party. I'm not sure, Ciroc, if you've been to one. Ryan, have you been to one? Yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
just went to one a couple months ago in August in Vegas.
Yeah, those are absolutely amazing. So much fun. Those guys are wonderful. But we think this was 2 years ago, and it was, I don't know, we were doing some kind of battle, or we were like a raffle or of some sort to get some different Star Trek items that the Gays in Space guys made, and that we had some people sign. And there was, oh my gosh, I forget her name, but a drag queen was putting on a show, and he just went up there with me, and we both just started dancing with her and like stealing the show away, and he was just getting down, and I just started cracking up. It was just like so much fun. Always had so much fun with him, and it's just like no fear of anything. Like he just got up there and just, you know, did his thing, and it was absolutely hilarious. Oh God, he's such a good guy.
Yeah,
I honestly miss him. I know.
absolutely. You know, when I first heard the news, I was so shocked that I didn't even realize how I was processing it in the beginning. And so for the first like week or two, I would wake up not feeling good, or I would not eat properly, maybe eat like one meal a day or something. Yeah. I realized, I was like, why am I not eating right? Why am I? And then it would just come back. Oh, that's right. I'm still grieving over this, you know, because it came so suddenly that it just was like, you know, the impact of it kind of had like a rolling effect. It didn't really hit me right away until after some days, and I'd start to say, wow, this guy's, I can't believe he's gone. I was just talking to him. I can't believe it.
It's weird how that works. I woke up, I was actually in Israel at the time, and I was scrolling through social media, and I saw Melissa's post, and I almost thought it was a joke. I was like, there's no way. Like, this is, you know, not possible. Obviously, she wouldn't have posted that had it been a joke, but I tried, because he's such a funny guy and like such a jokester. I kept trying to I was like, this isn't real. Like, it's a joke, you know, like that this is just Aron. It's a prank or something. But I knew it was real, but I was trying to make it in my head that it wasn't, because it was such a funny guy, and just always made light of every situation, though that's, you know, a negative thing. But it took me a while to process it as well, because I just didn't want to believe it.
Yeah, I didn't want to believe it. I still don't want to believe it.
I know.
It's just too much.
I'm like, is this some Tupac conspiracy? Is he going to come back to us? Please do.
Yeah. But I'm glad to see how many people came out to support his funeral, and even on the online community. And I mean, there was a lot of support. There is a lot of support. Yeah. And it's important that he knows that his legacy will be remembered, that what he did will be left behind, you know, for all of us to observe. And that he's always going to be attached to a memory of a smile, you know. He's always going to be attached to that. Everybody who talks about him brings up the smiles and the laughs. And to me, that's a good thing, to go out knowing that every time somebody thinks of you, they think of a joke or a smile or just playful good times, you know.
Ciroc, that's absolutely right. I hadn't really thought of it that way, but if you'll notice, every time we're talking about Aron, we're smiling and or laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, what a legacy to leave. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Hard as it is, we remember the good times, and that's what makes it, you know, he's still with us, and that's what makes it somewhat easier, you know, and we're all in this together. And again, we see how much love everyone had for him and has for him, and it truly shows that he was an amazing, one-of-a-kind person.
Now, on that note, I know we've only got about a minute left, but Hana, before we go, is there anything about Aron or a memory you have of Aron that maybe not everybody knows, or maybe people that have never met him might not have guessed about him? Just what's something that you want the public to know about Aron Eisenberg?
I don't know if there's anything that people don't know, but just remember that he truly cared about every single soul and person that he touched and that he met. And there was not a single moment that he was fake or lying or just, everything about him was genuine. I have chills because I'm talking about how amazing he is and I miss him so much, but he's just one of the best people that whoever met him has ever met. And there's no doubt about that. Anyone who has met him will tell you the same thing.
Yeah. And he's the type of guy that you couldn't get mad at, you know?
Exactly.
You couldn't get mad
even
at Aron.
If you wanted to, huh?
Even if you wanted to. Even if you wanted to.
Even if he was being kind of a dick. You're like, whatever. It's just like, making light of the situation. He's
just
like,
couldn't get mad at him.
Because being annoying, but he's laughing and smiling, and I can't get mad at you for that.
Yeah. Many times he's tried to put me on the spot in his kind of way that he jokes. And almost like to slightly embarrass me. But I would always look at him and just, I can't get mad at you, man. I love you too much. It's too funny. It's in the interest of comedy why I'm the butt of this joke at the moment. But you can't get mad at the guy, He was always he's trying to make people laugh. And that's what I remember.
Did.
And he did a great job of that.
That reminds me very quickly of another show that we did, Ciroc, where the way you're describing him right now makes it seem that we were always just slightly suspicious when he would say something like, is he going to fuck with me? Because I remember when we got back from Star Trek Las Vegas a couple months ago, and it was also your birthday, and we said, happy birthday, or I said, happy birthday, and you said, oh, thanks. And then Aron said, happy birthday, Ciroc, and you kind of stopped, kind of like, what's your game? And you're like,
yeah.
Nog, and you call it like what? Where's the joke coming?
Yeah, I was waiting for a middle finger or something. I always felt like there was a setup for something, but
you never know when something.
You never know with Aron. He's always got something. You could hear the wheels turning in his head when he started to deliberate on a plan.
Look that
he had a look on his face.
You're like, something's coming.
Yeah. Absolutely. And he always played it off like, sure, what's the matter? Why are you looking? Why are you nervous? Yeah. You're looking nervous.
Yeah.
And he would sense that you sensed it, and then he would call you out for sensing it. You look a little nervous. What's the matter? You don't want to go eat? You don't want to go here? You don't want to do this?
Like an attack dog, you called it.
Yeah.
Like you were just going for the kill.
Yeah. So, it's just a playful way, and we're gonna miss him forever.
Always.
We are.
Always and forever.
Yeah.
He'll be with us always and forever.
He's picking out a good spot, like I told Ryan, a nice little spot where we can kick it. He's waiting for me, and when I get there, we'll be hanging out together again.
There'll be 2 feet dangling or
2 feet dangling from somewhere.
Your feet in a little pond or something.
Somewhere.
Gazing into the distance of
and he was inviting me, like at the end, the last month, he was inviting me to go camping with him. And he said, hey, Ciroc, I want to know if you want to go camping. And so that's how, that's how close I felt. Like, you don't go camping with everybody. So.
No.
So, so that was the level of closeness I felt. I was like, wow, this guy he's just really living his life, being an outspoken voice, and really maximizing, his talents. He was really maximizing himself.
He did. There's some people in life that you feel like they got closer to reaching the ceiling based on what they were given in life. And he's definitely one of those people that came closer to hitting that ceiling than most of us do,
Yeah.
He was given a set of circumstances, and he really attained some of the highest possible goals considering that. Anyway, I know we got to go. Hana and I have been fighting the westward sun through our blinds today.
I am too. I was super bright for a minute.
The blinds.
Yeah.
The blind.
Yeah.
The sun's moving on us.
But anyway, thank you so much, Hana, for joining us and for giving us your insights and memories.
Thank you.
Happy to help. I'm happy to be here and talking to you, handsome gentleman, and of course, remembering Aron's soul and spirit, everything about him. So.
Well, he loved you a lot.
I know, I loved him too.
He really enjoyed, your conversations. But that was just indicative of who he was as a person. He really cherished people.
Exactly. But he was like my convention buddy. Anytime I was like lost, I'd be like, "Where's Aron?"
Yeah, he is. He was one of the he was one of the main guys that there was no barrier between him and the actors and the fans and the and the girlfriends and it was like he was just blended in with everybody. And that's one of the real talents that he had, that he wasn't pretentious. He didn't sit on any kind of a high horse. He was right there in the mix.
Yeah, he was. So I think in honor of him, you and I are going to have to keep the middle finger tradition going.
We have to keep it going. We'll
Look
keep
how
it going.
Excited you just made Ciroc. He's like, all right.
Finally.
That was the best idea I've ever had.
Uh-oh.
Next convention.
All right.
I like it.
I'll do that.
Awesome.
All right.
You heard it here first. Well, thank you so much, Hana and Ciroc. Always, we love hearing your insights always and your 27 years of memories with Aron. So thank you again to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Hana.
For having me.
And always remember the 7th rule.
Always. Always.